Hello. Hi. Good morning, students. I am Basraj Harsi, your science teacher. Yesterday, we discussed about what is the chemical reaction and equation. In this chapter, we already know that what is the chemical reaction, how to write a chemical reaction, and what is the chemical equation, and how to balance the chemical equations. Today we discuss about the types of a chemical reactions. The chemical reaction, it consists of four types. The first one is the combination reaction. Second one is decomposition reaction. Third one is single displacement reaction. Fourth one is double displacement reaction. And fifth one is redox reaction. We will move to the combination reaction. What is combination reaction? We have learnt in a 9th class that during a chemical reaction atoms of a one element do not change into those of the another elements, nor do the atoms disappear from the mixture of a appear from elsewhere. Actually the chemical reactions involves the breaking and making of a bonds between the atoms to a produce the new substances. You will study about the types of a bond formed between the atoms. In combination reaction, we will do simple activity. We take the small amount of a calcium oxide or a quicklime in a beaker and slowly add a water to this. Next, touch the beaker as shown in the figure. And do you feel any changes in temperature? As the temperature is slightly raised. In this type of a reaction occurs when the two reactants combine to form a one or more product. This process is known as the combination reaction. The reactant contain two elements. The two elements are two reactions is converted into and make one element. This process is known as the combination reaction. For example, the calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to produce the slaked lime, releasing a large amount of heat. For example, CaO, the calcium oxide, is in solid state, plus it's reacted to H2O in liquid state. The calcium oxide reacted with water and the final we get the calcium hydroxide and slaked lime water and plus I will get a heat. In this reaction, the calcium oxide and water combine to form a single product, the calcium hydroxide. Such a reaction in which a single product is formed from a two or more reactant is known as the combination reaction. In another example, the sodium is react with a chlorine. It converted into a sodium chloride. The sodium is a one element and chlorine is the one element. The both are two elements are converted into a single product. In general formula, the A is the element or a compound plus B the element or a compound and A and B the both are the reactants. It's converted into a AB. In another example, and burning of coal and the carbon is reacts with a oxygen. It's converted into a carbon dioxide. And one more example, the formation of a water and hydrogen 2H2O in gaseous state plus and oxygen O2. The hydrogen and oxygen both are the reactions and it converts it into a H2O. Next one is decomposition reaction. In this, the type of a reaction in which a single reactant breaks down to give a simpler product are called a decomposition reaction. It means it contains a one reactant, it is converted into a simpler products. This process is known as the decomposition reaction. For example, 2H2O, the water molecule is converted into a 2H2 hydrogen and O2. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by the heating is known as the thermal decomposition. In decomposition reaction, we will do in one activity. First, we take 2 gram of a ferrous crystals in a dry boiling tube and note the color of the ferrous sulfate crystals and heat the boiling tube over the flame of the burner or a spirit lamp as shown in the figure and observe the color of the crystal water after a heating. First, we have to notice the color of the ferrous sulfate crystals. When the heated the ferrous sulfate crystals, it's converted into a green color of the ferrous sulfate crystals has changed. You can also smell the characteristics, the odor of a burning sulfur. First, 2FeSO4, the ferrous sulfate is heated, it's converted into the ferrous, it converted to a ferric oxide. 2FeSO4 is converted into a Fe2O3 plus SO2 plus SO3. In this reaction, you can observe that a single reactant break down to give a simpler product. This is the decomposition reactions. And ferrous sulfate crystals FeSO4 and H2O at lost the water. When heated, the color of the crystals that changes. It then the decomposes to a ferric oxide Fe2O3 and sulfur oxide SO2 and a sulfur trioxide SO3 and ferric oxide is a solid when the SO2 and SO3 are the gases. Next, the decomposition of the calcium carbonate to calcium oxide and carbon dioxide on heated is an the important decomposition reaction and used in the various industries. And calcium oxide is called a lime or quicklime. It has the many uses. The one is the manufacture of the cement. When a decomposition reaction is carried out by a heating, it is called a thermal decomposition. For example, the calcium carbonate limestone is converted into a calcium oxide plus CO2. And another example for a thermal decomposition reactions, we will take a simple activity. Take about a 2 gram of lead nitrate powder in a boiling tube and hold the boiling tube with the pair of a tongs and heat it over a flame. What do you observe? Note down the change if any. We will observe the emission of a brown fumes. These fumes are of a nitrogen dioxide. The reaction takes place when the nitrogen and 2Pb and NO3, the lead nitrate is converted into a lead oxide 2PbO plus the nitrogen dioxide 4NO2 plus oxygen. And the more examples of the decomposition reaction, the hydrogen peroxide 2H2O2 is gives rise to 2H2O plus O2. Second one, the electrolysis of water 2H2O is electrolyzed and it converted into a 2H2 plus O2. Next one, the hydrogen triiodide and 2Ni3 is converted into a N2 plus 3I3 and in general formula AB is converted into a plus B. Okay student, today we will stop here. Thank you and write some questions in this chapter. The write a types of a chemical reactions. These are more 4 types. And first one is the what is the combination reactions and write a equation. And second one is what is decomposition reaction. Thank you, students.